And then that's when they start peer pressuring you. Oh, Chris, just have one drink. It's not gonna hurt you just to have one drink. And then another person tags on, another person, and then eventually the whole group's going, Chris, just have one drink. You'll be fine. And then eventually you cave into the peer pressure because everyone is telling you have a drink, have a drink, have a drink, and they won't stop. And then eventually you go, okay, sure, I'll have one drink. And then sooner or later you realize that you've had 5 drinks or however many it takes for you to get drunk. And by that point, you're back into the old habit that you didn't want to get into. Now you realize that whenever you try and go out, people are going to pressure you into drinking. And so then you have to deal with the fact that every time you realize that you have to go out and hang out with your friends and they're drinking, you're going to be seen as weird. They're going to secretly judge you in the background, and you don't really want to deal with that. Then ultimately, you have the realization, or at least I had the realization, that in order to really stop drinking, you're going to have to distance yourself from your friends because they're not going to change and they're just going to continue to pull you back into that habit that you don't want to do. And so from what I realized is that in order to completely separate yourself from going out and drinking, you have to remove yourself from that group or these people. But then this is also scary because then you realize that most of your friends that you've made are through drinking. And so whenever you are going, I'm not going to go out and hang out with people, then you're losing those social interactions, which is tough. And people need social interaction because we're human and we're very social beings. And so this is part of the reason why I believe that people continue to drink even though they know that it's not good for them, which is really unfortunate. And then ultimately you realize that you're going to have to just stay at home or at least find new friends, start doing different things. And it can be tough. And then you realize you're going to have to retransform yourself into someone who you weren't before. And that's what happened with me. Now, I don't go out anymore, or I barely do, but I really have good self-control to not drink in these social situations, which is not easy for everyone. But once you are really happy with yourself and you can be alone and you can do things that you want to do and not have to listen to other people, that is how I truly overcame not drinking anymore. And so this is just my personal experience and theory as to why I think people continue to drink socially and why it's hard for people to break this habit. So let me know in the comments if you are one of these people who is experiencing this and if you're afraid to stop drinking because you don't want to be isolated from all your friends, being judged, and everything else that goes with it.